In today's world, as we attempt to identify an ancient people group known as the children of Israel, are we led by default to the modern Jewish state of Israel in order to answer that burning question, who is a Jew? However, we know from the Hebrew Scriptures that a Jew is someone who descends from the tribe of Judah, which was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, who are also called Hebrews. So already do we understand that the protagonists of the Old Testament were known as Hebrews, Jews, and Israelites. But to better comprehend the interrelation of these tribes and their ethnic origins and backgrounds, this enigma must be broken down as follows. A Jew is one who descends from the tribe of Judah, which was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, collectively known as the Hebrews. All 12 tribes of Israel are Hebrews, but only one of the tribes are Jewish. The Jews being one of the 12 tribes of Israel are Hebrews, but not every Hebrew is a Jew. But to come to an even deeper understanding of the origins of the Hebrews, we must go back to the days of Noah and his son Shem. When studying the book of Genesis, we see that Shem was the ancestor of Abraham. Now Abraham was not only the forefather of Israel, but Scripture reveals to us that Abraham was also a Hebrew. See Genesis chapter 14, verse 13. Shem being the ancestor of the Hebrews, and the Jews being Hebrews by stemming from Abraham through Shem, has prompted modern Jews to identify themselves as Semites, a people descending from Shem. Venturing past Shem, we come to his father Noah, who was the 10th from Adam and a holy lineage known as the 10 righteous antediluvian patriarchs. Though these 10 men maintained a preserved a righteous bloodline, the Bible does not identify these early humans as being of a particular race, creed, or nationality. Going further, the Bible tells us that Adam was the first man, but Scripture does not identify Adam's race, nor is the color of his skin recorded. However, when broken down, the etymology of the Hebrew name Adam can be understood as having at least 3 different meanings. Amazingly, one of the meanings for the name Adam is the color red. If Adam was formed from red earth, then the color of Adam's skin may have been red. Being our first father, Adam possessed within his flesh all the genes and DNA that we humans carry with us today, regardless of our skin color, physical characteristics, or facial features. No matter the shade of our skin, all humans bleed red. So it would be very appropriate if Adam's skin tone was red, just as all of his descendants have red blood. For it is the color red that links all the races of differing skin colors together. No matter the color of our skin, all races have red blood. Returning to Abraham, it is understood that he was not only a descendant of Shem, but Abraham was also a descendant of Eber, or Heber, where the name Hebrew derives its origin. The descendants of Abraham through his son Isaac, and through Isaac's son Jacob, whose name will be changed to Israel, a man who had 12 sons, which would later be known as the 12 tribes of Israel, would also be called Hebrews because of their shared genealogy and racial descent from Eber and Abraham. The Bible also informs us that Abraham fathered other children, specifically male children, through Hagar, the Egyptian handmaid of Abraham's wife Sarah, and by a woman named Keturah, who bore sons to Abraham after the death of Sarah. Now what is interesting about Ishmael, the son of Abraham and Hagar, is that God promised to make Ishmael into a great nation, and that 12 princes would descend from him. See Genesis chapter 17, verse 20. And these 12 princes of Ishmael are believed to be the Arab peoples, a nation other than Israel with Hebraic roots. Concerning Keturah, Scripture makes no mention of her nationality. However, one of Keturah's sons, begotten by Abraham, was named Midian, which is also the name of the land where Moses fled to after he killed the Egyptian. Traditionally speaking, Midian is located in northwestern Saudi Arabia, so along with Ishmael, the sons of Keturah are also of Arab stock. As we continue to trace the origins of the Hebrews, we will now focus on the most prominent tribe of all the 12 tribes of Israel, and this most famous Israelite tribe is none other than the tribe of Judah. Now what sets the tribe of Judah apart from among the other tribes of Israel is the fact that the promised Messiah would be born and stem from the tribe of Judah. For the great Israelite King David was from the tribe of Judah, and because of his great zeal for God, the Lord foretold that not only would the Messiah descend from the tribe of Judah, but that the Messiah would sit upon the throne of David for all of eternity. See 2 Samuel chapter 7, verses 1 through 17. And even though God initially didn't want his people to be governed by earthly kings, yet in his mercy God granted the children of Israel kings, with the tribe of Judah becoming the kingly tribe. However, after the death of David's son, King Solomon, the nation of Israel became divided. 10 tribes broke off into their own kingdom to the north, and the tribe of Judah, along with the tribe of Benjamin, would rule from the south in the kingdom known as Judah. But after the Assyrians conquered the northern kingdom of Israel in 722 BC, all that was left of the nation of Israel was the kingdom of Judah. And after Judah was conquered by the Babylonians in 586 BC, the people making up what was left of the original 12 tribes of Israel would now collectively be known simply as Jews. Once the Jews returned to their homeland, directly following their captivity in Babylon, the territory previously known as Judah would now be known as Judea. The Jews would live under the yoke of the Greek Seleucid Empire until the era of the Maccabees, when the Jewish Hasmonean dynasty took control of Judea in 140 BC until they were conquered by the Romans in 63 BC, with the infamous Herod the Great toppling the last of the Hasmonean rulers in 37 BC. In 70 AD, the Romans destroyed the Second Temple and all of Jerusalem with it, resulting in the Jewish remnant of Israel becoming scattered abroad once more. As a result of the Jewish-Roman wars, most of the Jews fled Judea and eventually settled in Germany via Italy and became known as Ashkenazi Jews. Other Jews settled in Spain and Portugal and thus became classified as Spanish Jews or Sephardic Jews, with other Jewish communities establishing themselves in parts of North Africa. In the centuries following the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, Jewish populations emerged in Eastern European countries such as Poland, for example, and other Jewish settlements would also take root in certain areas of Russia. In addition to the Jewish diaspora who found themselves in Europe as a result of the destruction of 70 AD, there has also been a Jewish presence in the African country of Ethiopia dating all the way back to early antiquity. One theory as to how a Jewish community sprang up in Ethiopia can be traced to the meeting between King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. For legend has it that after visiting Jerusalem, the Queen of Sheba took the religion of the Jewish King Solomon back with her to Ethiopia, therefore establishing the religion of Yahweh in East Africa. In more recent times, a religious group in the United States of America have proclaimed that they are the true Hebrews of the Bible, and this modern religious sect have identified themselves as the Black Hebrew Israelites. In their religious practices, the Black Hebrew Israelites incorporate certain elements of both Judaism and Christianity, but choose to identify themselves as Hebrews or Black Hebrews and not Jews, as a way to distinguish themselves apart from the mainstream white Jewish community. As to the modern mainstream white Jewish element, some have argued that the people who identify as Jews or members of the State of Israel are not racially descendant of the Hebrews or the Jews or the Israelites of the Old Testament. It is contended that the Israeli populations within Israel and elsewhere are in fact closer in their genetics to a Turkic people known as the Khazars. But apart from race, the meaning of being Jewish has much to do with having the correct type of faith in God. For from the very beginning, the ancient Israelites were not simply a racial ethnicity, but also a religion, a people chosen by God to be set apart from among all other nations, to stand out and be an example for all other races or nationalities to follow, emulate, and learn from. For to be a Hebrew, Jew, or Israelite does not simply require one to be endowed with a certain strand of DNA, nor possess a particular blood type, but to be a child of God means to love and fear God and keep His commandments. See Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. For as St. Paul has written, to be Jewish doesn't mean to be a Jew outwardly, as in circumcision of the flesh, but to be a true Jew means to be a Jew inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not from men, but from God. See Romans chapter 2, verses 28 and 29. This is the leap of faith.